Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? I want to say thank you so much. I keep forgetting when I do my videos. Thank you for all you subscribers that come back every time and watch my videos. And welcome to all the new subscribers as well. Thank you so much. I really do hope you enjoy my videos. And yeah, and thank you for all returning viewers. I appreciate you guys so much. Glad to know that you guys enjoy what I do put out. So this video is going to be a tag video called the 20 questions tag, crochet tag. So obviously it's crochet related, and let's get started. And so I was tagged by Questions Crochets. And let's get started with the questions. First one, number one, is how old were you when you learned to crochet? So I gotta think about that now, because I gotta think about how old I was last year, right? Yeah, I started last year. I've gotten to that age where I'm like, I forget how old I am. But so I started last year in March. So I was 20. I wish. I was 44. Because, yeah, my birthday's coming up in 2 weeks. So, yeah, I was not 45 just yet. So, yeah, 44. So that's how old I was, yeah. And number two, what was the first thing you remember making? That's easy. The Daisy Granny Square bag that I made. I'll put the picture up right there. If you guys have not seen my earlier videos, I think that was like my second video, I think it was, on this channel. But yeah, that was the very first thing that I made. I know some newbies might think that's crazy for trying such a bit more of an advanced thing, but I get really bored easily, and like the single crochet, double crochet was just really boring, you know. I think I just visually I pick up things really quickly, and like before I actually started crocheting, I had started watching some basic stitch videos and just how to, because I wanted to see how it worked. And you know, for me it was just, I picked it up really easily just from watching. And when I actually got the hook and stuff I needed to actually get started, I already had yarn. I bought several years before because I wanted to do finger knitting. So I already had the yarn, and all I needed was now a hook so that I can actually crochet. And I had actually finger crocheted a bag with the basic, I think it was, I don't remember now, but I'm pretty sure it must have been single crochet. It had to be, because you know when you're just doing it with just fingers, you can't really do anything complicated, I don't think. It's just, yeah, I didn't want to spend the money on other things or other tools or whatever, so I just wanted to see what I could do with the yarn I already had without spending any more money. And I tried that finger crochet, and the bag was just kind of like, you know, because it didn't have a pattern. I wasn't following a pattern. It was just a one stitch, and I just did it as long as, you know, the chain stitch. I just did it as long as I thought I would want the bag to be, and then kept doing the rows until I got to the height that I thought I wanted. But it ended up just like a very rectangular bag, skinny rectangular bag. And I still have it. I actually wanted to frog it and just use the yarn for something else, because I'm not really happy with that bag. But anyway, that I don't know if you want to consider that my very first project, because I didn't use a hook. But anyway, at least for me, I don't really consider that a first crochet project. It's the Granny Square, the Daisy Granny Square bag. That's what I really consider to be my very first project. So yeah, and I still have it. I just need to put a liner. I still have been meaning to for the longest time. I have the fabric, just haven't gotten around just sewing it in. You know, how many of you guys have the same issue? You just can't stand the sewing. I don't know what it is, but you know. So number 3, the make you are most proud of and why, which is pretty much the same thing. The same answer for number 2 is the Daisy Granny Square bag, because that was my very first project and I really enjoyed it and I really like it. I really like the bag. I need to make some more for sure. So yeah, so that's really that's the answer for number 3. Number 4, what is the oldest yarn you have now in your stash? It would be the Red Heart Super Saver. I have the well, actually no, I don't have it anymore because I actually finished it. I finished using it just recently on my unicorn and an egg project, and so I finished that one. But and then I do still have a remaining bit of a little less than half of the Red Heart Super Saver in like a sky blue. I don't know the exact colorway name of it, but it's basically sky blue. So that's the oldest one, because I bought that, oh, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and yeah, it had just been sitting around for years, until last year. So yeah. Okay, now number 5, knife or pencil grip? I'm definitely knife. I can do both if I wanted to. I mean, I could do either if I wanted to. I can't remember if I started out using a knife, I mean a pencil grip, or not. I can't remember, but I think I default to a knife grip, so I would definitely say I do knife grip. I do sometimes try to switch it up just to kind of give my hand a break if I'm doing it a lot. But then I actually find out, but then I can't really do the pencil grip too long, because I find it hurts my hand in a different way. So, but yeah, sometimes I just do try to switch it up just slightly, just to kind of give my hand a break in that one position. But number 6, do you prefer Boye or Susan Bates style hook? I have never used, I think this is it, Susan Bates is, I think, the inline style hook, and I have not used that before, so I really can't say which one I would prefer. Because I bought the No Name brand hooks, and then I was gifted a set of Clover hooks, and they're both the same style, which I think, what do they call them, tapered, but basically it's not the inline. So right now, then, that's kind of what I'm using and what I'm used to. I would like to try the inline style hook. Kind of hook that I would want to try is the Furls Odyssey. That one just looks like, ergonomically, I think I really would like that. And I would prefer metal versus the other kinds of Furls hooks that they have. Because too, it's like I don't want to spend all the money and then accidentally break it because I drop it or some, you know, like, except I don't think you can really easily break the wood ones, but yeah. So number 7, favorite brand of hooks. I haven't really tried any other brands. Like I said, I started out with the No Name brand in just, I think, 2 or 3 sizes that I have, and then of course I got the Clover set, so that's pretty much all I have. So I haven't had the chance to try any other hooks. Yeah, so I can't really say favorite brand of hooks, although I am very, very happy with Clover, and I definitely highly recommend Clover. I mean, when I got the Clover and I started using it after using the No Name brand. I mean, it was a huge difference. I noticed it right away, and I definitely would prefer the Clover over the No Name brand for sure. Oh, and it's the Clover Amore set of clover hooks. Okay, now number 8, sorry. Favorite hook size or range of sizes? I don't really have a favorite hook size. I can't really say, because I mean, I guess I like working with lightweight yarns. So any of the hooks that go with the lighter weight yarns, you know, like from a even crochet thread to a 4. So any of those sizes. So I mean, I can't really say I have a favorite hook size. You know, it all just depends on the yarn that I'm using. And number 9, favorite weight of yarn. I would have to say the range. I prefer lighter weight yarns. And the reason why I prefer the lighter weight yarns is just because I like the fabric that it creates, the drape that you get from the lighter weight yarns. I guess just because, I don't know, I just like the look of it when the crochet stitches that you get, you know, that you make when you use lighter weight yarns, they're just much smaller versus, you know, the really big crochet stitches that you end up with when you use the bulkier yarn. And I'm definitely not opposed to bulky yarn, because I do have some. And like homespun, for instance, I have that. I don't know if that's a 5 or a 6, but I like that, and I definitely would like bulky yarns for making home decor, like rugs or baskets and things like that. And I have some bulky chenille that I really like for making bigger stuffed toys. So yeah, so definitely not opposed to bulky yarns, but but for everyday things that I would make, I would definitely prefer the lighter weight yarns, especially for wearables. Number 10, favorite yarn fiber and why? I guess for sure my 2 favorite fibers that I know that I am drawn to, cotton for sure, cotton for one. I really, because I lean towards more making amigurumis, you know, stuffed toys, that I like the cotton for the stitch definition. And the other one would be chenille. Any of the chenille, velvet, fur type yarn, I definitely like that for making stuffed toys as well. Yeah, so those are the 2 definitely that I definitely am drawn more to and prefer using. I like making other stuff, and I would too for the chenille and the fur type yarns. I think that would make awesome rugs. They would feel so soft and, you know, nice. But yeah, those are the 2 I really like, because those are the 2 I'm really drawn to, because I know that I needed, for myself, I needed to narrow down what I wanted to have most of in my stash, because, you know, I don't have the funds to buy all the different kinds of yarn and all the different weights and stuff like that. So if I just narrow it down, that can really help me when I do shop, you know, keep costs down, and really get me the stuff that I can have in my stash and pull from as well too, because for color wise as well, because if I have a whole bunch of different types of yarns and all different weights, you know, different fibers and everything, it really makes it hard to have a good stash that you can just pull from when you want to make something. So like if I stick with cotton and then I narrow it down to maybe a few of the different weights, then I can buy, you know, when something comes on sale, I can buy different colors, you know, in that, and I could have it in my stash. Because there's some projects that, like, say for like amigurumi, like my daughter wants me to make, I can't remember the character's name. It's a character from Genshin Impact, the video game, and there's a pattern on Etsy but that one requires like 8 or 9 different colors, you know, and so so it really helps to have one particular fiber, you know, one particular or two, you know, particular weights, you know, if it, you know, 2 or 3 weight or even 4 weight, and just get a bunch of different colors in that particular fiber and weight, then I'll have a nice stash to pull from. And so then when I have projects like that where it requires 8 or 9 different colors for that one project, then I'll have that, versus having to then go out and buy that yarn or those colors, you know, at full price, because I don't, you know, I just, for those of you that have been with me for a while and know my situation, know that, you know, I really, to keep costs down, I have to buy things on sale, because otherwise, you know, the duties I have to pay just skyrockets when the value of the yarn is at full retail, you know. So yeah, sorry for the long-winded answer, but yeah. Number 11, feature one of your favorite yarns. One of my favorite yarns, I mean, I guess I'm not really huge on brand name yarns. Like, okay, I guess I am. As far as cotton goes, because of the softness of cotton of certain brands, I definitely would go for them more, but I haven't tried a whole bunch of different brands. So as far as cotton goes, I think out of the ones I have tried, I've tried Joann's Big Twist, I've tried Premier Home Cotton, and I've tried I Love This Cotton. And out of those 3, although I do have Sugar Wheel Cotton, but of course that is a different weight, and I do have it, I just haven't used it yet. So but softness wise, definitely I think Sugar Wheel Cotton is definitely comparable to I Love This Cotton. But out of I Love This Cotton, Premier Home Cotton, and Sugar and Cream, oh, and I just recently started using Crafter's Secret from the Hobby Lobby clearance sale. So yeah, so out of those 4, then I definitely would say number 1 would be I Love This Cotton. Just as far as softness goes, so nice and soft, so easy to work with, for sure. So I guess in the cotton, I definitely, for the ones I've used, that would be my favorite. I Love This Cotton. As far as the chenille goes, I've only used the Premier Just Chenille from the Dollar Tree, and one of the other Premiers, the bigger, bulkier one. And but as far as the other brands, I don't. Lion brand. What do they call it? Not nighttime yarn. I can't remember the name of it now. But it is now discontinued from Lion brand. I had gotten several different colors from their clearance earlier this year. I think it was, I can't remember, it was in May, I think I got it. But it was a 4-weight chenille yarn, and I don't really notice a difference in the chenille yarn, so I wouldn't really say I have a favorite in that for the chenille yarn. Okay, let's move on. Number 12, what is your favorite crochet item to make? I mean, I guess I would say amigurumis, because I have made quite a lot of them. Other than that, you know, because throughout this time on my crochet journey, been so now over a year. I started in March, and I made one shawl, I made a bag, made several different amigurumis. I made dishcloth, I made a scrubby. So I mean, I think my range is quite vast. But I mean, I am, I guess, drawn more towards amigurumi. So I guess you can say that that's really my favorite, because that's the thing I have made most of. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's my absolute favorite. I just like to change things up a bit. You know what I mean? Like I said, I made several different things. But I guess you know, if you want to consider how many things I've made of a particular kind of thing, then yeah, then amigurumi would be my favorite. Okay, where am I now? Okay, number 13. Which crochet item do you least enjoy making? I don't think I have that. I don't have an answer for that, because everything I've made so far I have enjoyed making. You know, and the reason why I even made it was because I wanted to make it. So I can't say I have one that I least enjoy making. So number 14, what is one crochet item you have yet to make? For me, that would be a crochet top. I have several patterns on my list, just haven't gotten around to doing it. I need to get some fine weight or super fine weight yarn, because for me to make a top, I definitely want super fine weight yarn for that. Like I said before, I just like the look. I don't really like seeing the huge crochet stitches in something. That's just my thing. So I just like the look when you get. I just like the look that you get when you crochet with super fine yarn, super fine or fine. So 1 or 2 weight, either one of those. So yeah, I just need to get a nice stash of that kind of weight in that before I can do a top. Okay, number 15, describe your color palette. That's kind of, I don't know. I guess the colors I am drawn to, of course, those of you already know me, blue is my favorite color. Any of the, the blue color range, teals, dark blue, all that kind of thing, blues. So purples, and I guess jewel tones, really, jewel tones. And I do like pastels, but I think I am definitely more drawn to the darker, like I said, jewel tones. So I guess that would be my palette then. Number 16, what is your favorite crochet hack? That one's kind of, I don't know. I guess I haven't used this, but I did see a video of it for fur yarn, or those really difficult fluffy yarns that make it really hard for you to see your stitches. That I don't know if you really call it a hack, but it's a really good tip. If I can find the video again, I will link it. I'm trying to think. I think I saw it on Instagram, and I don't remember if I saved it or not. If I did, I will link it. So for those of you that may work with fur yarn, it was a really good tip. And I haven't used it yet, because you will need the fur yarn or chenille yarn or whatever difficult yarn that you have. You'd also need I think a fine weight or a super fine weight yarn to go along with it. Basically, the tip is that you take the fine or super fine yarn, and it's like that's your main yarn that you are working with, and then every time you stick your hook in and you have to grab, like do a yarn over, that's when you would grab the fur yarn or the chenille yarn along with your super fine yarn, and that's how you would crochet and not have issues with finding your stitches, or you know what I mean, because yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. I just have to find that video and link it, and so I guess then that's really my favorite hack, I guess, even though I haven't really used it, but I think that would be very helpful for all of you that work with the difficult fuzzy yarn, chenille, fur yarn, whatever, any of those kind of yarns that are very, very, have a lot of halo or whatever, that just makes it difficult for you to work with. So yeah. Okay, where am I now? Number 17. What are your thoughts on crochet being a trend and companies mass producing it? It's great that it's a trend, I think, because I think crochet was usually known as a granny thing, right? That, you know, even I thought that, right? Although I did learn that as a kid. I did learn knitting as a kid, the basics of knitting. My mom taught me that, but, you know, even though I didn't really run with it and do anything further, but pretty much I think most of society thinks that, you know, knitting and crocheting, and they think when they hear that, they think of grannies, right? And so I think it's a great trend that, you know, a lot of young people are getting into it now, and it's because of all the young folks getting on TikTok and showing off their makes and stuff like that that kind of got me into it, you know, because that's how I got started, you know, was from seeing like YouTube recommending these TikTok compilations of people you know, of all the stuff that people are crocheting and things that they made. And then when I saw, you know, all the fun, you know, stuffies, the plush toys that they made and things like that, the really cute ones and all that stuff, that really kind of piqued my interest, and that's kind of really what stirred up my interest in that. And so yeah, I mean, I think as far as that, it's a great trend. But as far as companies mass producing it, that's where I have an issue, because of the fact that crochet cannot be machine done like knitting can. You know, knitted items can be mass produced easily with a machine, whereas crochet can't. So because of that, and then companies that are quote unquote mass producing it for sale, and really, you know, in the stores and things like that, that kind of, you know, and because I know, and you know, all you crocheters know how much goes into crocheting clothes and things like that, it's a lot of work and a lot of time for them to be selling it at the prices that they sell it at the stores, of course, except for the high-end companies that sell them for, you know, hundreds of dollars. But even then, I think the fact that I'm sure they come from countries that where the workers are paid, you know, very poorly. You know, they don't really get paid what they're worth. So that's what I would have an issue with. You know what I mean? Now, if the company was to show and prove that they pay really good wages to the workers that crochet the items, then great, by all means, then fine. You know, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But if they don't, you know, then that's kind of where I would have a problem with it. So that's where I'm not really crazy about that, you know, because then people flock to the stores and buy those crocheted items, you know, and have no clue all the time and effort that goes into it, and the people that don't get really paid what they're worth, you know. And then of course then that also drives down the price for all us, you know, for all the crocheters that actually are trying to bring an income out of their crocheted items, you know what I mean? And then people who can find them easily in a store wouldn't be willing to pay, you know, a small business the price that they really are charging and is really valued at, you know what I mean? I'm sure most people would balk at the price, you know, of what it really is, not even fully valued, you know, for the items, blankets and tops or whatever, right? You know, because we all know that there's just no way we can actually get a very high hourly wage out of our crocheted items, because no one's going to pay hundreds of dollars for a top, you know, with the amount of hours that go into it, and you calculate it out, you only make you make less than minimum wage even on the crocheted items. So you know what I mean? But I can go on, but I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Okay, number 18, feature a pattern designer that you like and highlight one of their patterns. I don't really have an answer for that because I don't have a favorite designer. Everything that I've made so far has been from a different designer. So I can't really say I have a favorite designer. Yeah, and I really don't have, yeah, so I can't really say, and I can't really highlight a pattern because I don't have a favorite designer. Not yet anyway. Number 19, what is the next pattern you want to make? I kind of already got started on it. I have the bottom done so far. It's a bag. It's cinnamon stitches bi-stitchable bag. So that's kind of what I got started on just recently. Number 20, last question. What is your best tip for beginners? Don't give up, for sure. Don't give up. Not everyone can pick it up as easily as I did just by watching videos. And so don't give up. Maybe, you know, if you find yourself frustrated, you know, just put it aside for a little bit and come back to it later, you know. And also another tip, I think very helpful for me anyway, if you know that you're someone that gets bored easily, find a pattern that has more than just one stitch in it. Like, you know, a lot of people say start with dishcloths, right? Knitted or crocheted when you're learning to knit and when you're learning to crochet. Everyone says, oh, you know, start with a dishcloth, which is, I think, is definitely a good, very simple, like a square item, right? But find something that has more than one stitch in it. And that's why, for me, that's why I went with the Daisy Granny Square bag that I made. You know, it was really just the Daisy Granny Squares that I learned. And then I figured out from a different site how to make the bag that I wanted, how to join them all, and how to orientate the squares. But anyway, like for me, when I started knitting, I found a knit pattern for a dishcloth or washcloth that kind of, to me, reminds me of crochet C2C, and I really liked it. So it was kind of like the knit dishcloth was worked diagonally, right? So you start out in one corner, and then it gets wider and wider and wider and wider until you get to the middle, and then you decrease, and then that's how you get the dishcloth. And so out of that one, I learned how to knit, purl, decrease, increase, and it was very challenging, but it was really, really good because I learned so much from that, and I didn't get bored at all because it wasn't all just knit and purl, because knit and purl to me was just too simple, like, you know, just from, like I said, just from watching how to knit and purl. And plus I already kind of knew how to, the basic knit and purl, I knew the motions of it already from when I was like, what, 9, 10, but even still, you know, it just the repetition of that was just way too boring for me. So I really needed something a little bit more challenging and to, you know, keep my interest. And so obviously, you know yourself best. If you are having difficulties with just the basic knit and purl, then yeah, then just stick with that. But if you know that you get bored easily and you pick up how to do the knit and purl real easily, pretty much, you know, you already got the motion of it and stuff already, then go for something a little bit more challenging. And I will link that, for those of you that knit, I will link the knitted dishcloth that I made. I'll link that in the description in case you're interested. And yeah, so those are my tips for that. So hope that was helpful, and I think that was pretty much it. That was the last question, and so I don't want to drag on the video too long, and so I'm going to tag some people. I'm going to tag some people I have not tagged before. So let me pull up my little list of who I wanted to tag. Okay, I am going to, oh, and I hope you guys don't mind, I have tagged more than 3 people. In this one, I am tagging Pam at Be Creative Crafts. I am tagging Melanie Titus. I'm going to tag Roaming with Rover, Robin at Roaming with Rover, and Antoinette at 2 OGs Hookin' and Stitchin' Island Style. And one last one, I am tagging Deborah at Deborah Crochet, or Crochet in Life and Stuff with Deborah. So yeah, so those are the people I'm going to tag, and I hope you guys will join me in the tag. And so if you have not been tagged and you're interested in doing it, please do, and let me know that you did a video on it. So alrighty then, I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit with this 20 crochet questions tag, and I will see you next time. God bless you guys, and have a great weekend, day, or week, whatever day it is that you're watching this. And I will see you next time. Alrighty, you guys. Bye.